Hello everyone, it's Nadie and welcome to Baked, the cooking show where we bake baked. Yes, that's right, I am higher than a politician's ego. Higher than the numbers in Oprah's bank account. Just kidding, I'd be dead. Like always, as you beautiful people know, any tiff you may have, please cast it away because this is a channel of positive energy, okay? Thank you. My god, Mia is clawing at my brand new couch. Girl, get down from there! Mia, go away. Go on. She's so confused. Anyways, I am high and we are getting down with some good eats. And to commemorate our very first episode, how fitting is it that we make food that's perfect for when you have the munchies? These might not be the healthiest snacks, but they are certainly tasty and you can totally alter them to make them a little bit healthier. I will let you know of some healthier options. If I remember, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really remember even starting this video. Oh my god, get the smoke away. I'm so high. Unlike other cooking shows, a lot of what we try on here is gonna be from other recipes. If you have any really unique recipes or things that are vintage that you'd love to see me test out, please send them my way. You can contact me through my website or you can tweet them to me. I don't really care, just as long as they get to me, because I personally think it would be hilarious to watch High Nadie try and film with some weird recipes. But holy shit, I am so excited to film this No. We are not bleeping anything out. This is a show for adults, made by adults, and what the hell, I'm sure some kids will be watching. But we swear, we drink, we smoke a little MJ, and most importantly, we cook. And so we can say whatever the fuck we want on here. And today we're gonna be kicking off with some delicious things. So first up, we have some frozen grapes that have been soaked in sangria, or whatever the hell you want, and then coated in orange zest and sugar. Oh my god, that sounds fucking orgasmic, doesn't it? Then we're also gonna be making a classic munchie food, French fries, except these are gonna be sweet potato fries, but so damn crispy and deliciously seasoned. Oh my god, could I be any more cringy? And we're also gonna make some tender and crispy roasted Parmesan Brussels sprouts. Oh fuck, I'm getting hungry talking about it. Let's dive in. Mia, get out of the bag. You're making noise, girl. So unlike Ron, who's just sitting over there being such a good boy. Say hi, Ron. Yes, let me make sure your hair is all over all the food because you are a part of me. Oh yes, you're so handsome. Okay, baby, go on over there. So I think because the grapes will take the longest, those have to freeze. We're gonna start with them. I have my grapes right here. I've already picked them off the little stem thing. And I haven't washed these yet because I really wanna show you a very, very easy way to get that kind of like weird grimy sludge off it. It's not really sludge, I don't know what the hell it is, but it's kind of like waxy, but it needs to come off. Like anytime you ever go to the grocery store and pick something up off the shelf that you're gonna directly put in your mouth, make sure you wash the shit so well. Like I have seen way too many videos of somebody like walking through Walmart and then they lick something and then put it back down. Oh my god, can we please start a petition to have those people euthanized? Okay, I definitely added way too much there. I shouldn't have been talking so much. But all this is like 3 parts water and 1 part vinegar. You can let pretty much anything soak in that and it'll do a great job of cleaning it. It's just a very, very mild cleaner. And you do kind of have to be careful because if you let it soak a long time, that vinegar can seep into what you're soaking it in. Which is why I typically put it in one of these like salad tosser things. And I just kind of spin these because it's so gentle, it's not really doing any damage to the grapes or like squishing them, but it's forcefully enough to clean them. Oh my god, she's leaking everywhere. That's the first time I've ever said that. But I love this thing. It's perfect for making your lettuce not moist because nobody likes a soggy salad. Let me go rinse these. Then I'm gonna take those grapes and just put them in like a Ziploc bag or any kind of container where they can lay down flat. And there really aren't any specifics to this recipe. You pretty much just eyeball it. And so even though this recipe calls for like sangria, I'm not a huge fan of sangria, so I mixed it up. If you don't like sangria, you could add like vodka, you could add any kind of sweet liquor, and if you don't even want liquor, you could just add water or juice. Literally, no matter what it's covered in, it is gonna taste fucking bomb because it's rolled in sugar. So today I actually have 2 different kinds of wines. This is from Robinette's Cellar, which is kind of down the road from me. Buy local, bitches. But I love this wine. It's Michigan Concord, and it tastes so damn good. It's super sweet, but it is a little bit expensive, so I kind of watered it down with this Aldi's Winking Owl. Shit is like $2.89. It doesn't taste like it's $2.89. It is so good. But this is the White Zinfandel. Yeah, honey. I took probably like a half a cup of the Concord one because I don't want to waste it, even though I'm probably gonna drain the grapes out of this and drink it. Then I took maybe like 3/4 of a cup of the other wine, and we're gonna open our bag and just pour that in. Make sure that it covers the grapes nicely. that up real tight, and then I like to leave a little hole at the end and just suck the air out. As I'm sure you could have guessed, one of my favorite pastimes is sucking, so I'm great at it. But now that this is in the bag, we're just gonna kind of slosh those around, and you can leave these to soak for as long as you want, probably no less than an hour though. You really want to give these grapes time to soak up all the little juices, otherwise they're just gonna be normal grapes, and I want some alcohol in my grapes. You okay? So handsome. Fortunately though, we have the magic of Hollywood, and these grapes have actually been soaking overnight. I just dumped the juice out and poured it back in. So we may as well just let these soak for another minute, and we can go ahead and make our sugar concoction. For that, we have a lot of room to play around. You can add any kind of like flavored sugar that you have, like those rimming sugars. Ooh, giggity. But I mean the sugars that are made for the rims. You could totally dip these in those, but we're just gonna make a very, very simple sugar with orange zest and plain ass sugar. We'll give that a little bit of a roll to really get the juices moving around in there. But I don't know what kind of tools you have. I have one of these little gizmos. Very, very handy. Totally recommend you get one. Just fucking love cheese graters. But when I was testing these out earlier, I used this side of the grater, which I think is way, way, way too fine. It almost like pulverizes it and kind of turns it into a paste, which is great for ginger or garlic, but we don't want a paste because any extra moisture, it'll get into the sugar and make it so it doesn't attach to the grapes, and we want as much sugar on those grapes as possible. So I'm gonna take the second tiniest one. It's like a medium grate. We're just gonna grate pretty much this whole orange, but you can add as much orange as you want. I really, really, really like orange. I'm a summer hoe. Even though we have crept into fall and are slowly creeping towards winter, honestly, fuck that noise. But please, feel free to let me know down in the comments below which season your favorite is. I feel like a lot of people just love this shit out of fall. I can fuck with that too, but definitely summer's where it's at for me. I love to feel like a sweaty pig all the time. That whole thing is grated. It looks wonderful. But I'm gonna take this orange zest and just pour it right into the sugar. I'm gonna use this bowl so that I can kind of shake the grapes around. We'll give this a little bit of a swirl so that everything is equally distributed. God, I could just fucking eat this shit right now with a spoon. Ugh. Ooh, yum. Ugh, God, that was gross. All right, so messiness aside, we see that there is a little bit of moisture that's there, but it's not too bad. Like, it should still attach to the grapes. And if for some reason you do make it a little bit extra moist, just add some more sugar and you should be fine. One moment, let me do a little bit of a cleanup here. If you gotta be a hoe, at least don't be a messy hoe. All right, so now let's take our grapes and let's just drain them right into this cup, because why the fuck not? Oh no! Oop, one little guy went in there. We do still want a little bit of wetness left on the grapes so that the sugar does have something to stick to, but you certainly don't want them drenched, because otherwise you will end up with like a sugar slushy. Oop, there goes another little grape. Hold on, I've got to taste this. Oh. That's good. All right, so now we are just gonna take some grapes and plop them right inside there. I think I actually have a lid for this. That might be easier, because then maybe we could give it a little bit of a shake, just like that. Ooh, yes. Perfection. Look at those right there. They are beautifully coated. Oh my God. I'm so excited to taste these. Damn. And definitely make sure that you got a little bit of room in your freezer. Maybe move the dead bodies around, because you are gonna wanna put these on shit kebab sticks. That way everything won't freeze together. You've got like single grapes, but we'll go ahead and put that on right there. Ooh, slide that daddy down. Ooh, it's almost sensual. And there really are no rules. I mean, these don't have to be frozen. You could eat them just like this. And instead of sugar, you could use like a stevia mixture. You could use xylitol or erythritol, though often those give people the shits. But there certainly are other sugar substitutes that you could use instead of actual sugar. Or you could just eat the grapes that have been soaked in the wine, or eat grapes while drinking wine, or all of that. But now we have one little strain done. It looks so good. I'm gonna sprinkle just a little bit more on there just for shits and giggles. Yeah, that did absolutely nothing. Okay. But you should have plenty to fill up several shish kebabs. These are perfect for like parties, or if you're like me, a party of one. Ain't no shame in that, honey. But once again, thanks to movie magic, I actually have some that have been freezing all day. They are all done. And we will leave them in the freezer till the very end when we can taste all this. All right, baby, we are cooking with gas. Let's move right along. So the French fries, you kind of need to eat right when you take them out of the oven. So those are going to be the last thing. So let's go ahead and start with our Brussels sprouts. Also, fun grape fact, did you know that there's over 8,000 different kinds of grapes? Like, what the hell? I literally thought there was green grapes, red grapes, and the big ass ones with those giant seeds. But no, they were actually introduced to America when Spanish settlers came over. They literally came bearing their twigs and berries. But yeah, I just thought that was very interesting. Anyways, we're gonna kick these Brussels sprouts off by starting with 1 pound of fresh guys. And I'm just gonna kind of chop those in half. I don't know about you, but I personally love Brussels sprouts. Like, they're just so packed with nutrients. You can cook them in so many different ways. However, a lot of people really, really dislike them and will not come near them with like a 10-inch dick. No, 10-inch pole. Yeah, that's right. And I mean, can you blame them? Most people just don't know how to cook Brussels sprouts and they turn out slimy and they just smell like ass, and who wants to put ass in their mouth? Actually, no, don't answer that. Point of the fucking story is that you can transform your childhood monster food into something that everybody will love. So we have our clean Brussels sprouts that have been halved, and now we're gonna add our spices. Fortunately, Daddy is prepared, and we already have these measured out. So starting off, we have 4 tablespoons of olive oil. And before I do anything else, I'm actually gonna give this a little bit of a toss so that everything gets distributed pretty evenly and coats these really well. Next, I'm adding the spices. We have 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of fresh cracked pepper, and then 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. We'll just spread those in there and then give it another toss. My God, already it smells really good. I'm so hungry. And lastly, we're gonna put in 1/4 cup each of freshly grated Parmesan as well as breadcrumbs. If you were like me and don't have breadcrumbs, just take like 1 slice of bread, put it in the blender, and it's just the right amount. We'll give that one last little toss. So delicious. Look at that shit. Doesn't that look great? Now we're gonna go ahead and spread these out onto a cookie sheet, and because there's already oil on these, we really don't need to grease it or put any parchment down. Just spread them out pretty evenly, and I think we're gonna make them like face down because we do have to flip them in about 20 minutes. God damn, those smell good. Just to avoid burning, I'm actually gonna pick all the extra breadcrumbs and shit up. There we go, nice and even. Just because I like to really load up on sodium, I'm actually gonna take some seasoned salt and sprinkle a tiny bit over the top. You totally don't have to do it, I just like a little bit of extra flavor. And we're just gonna plop these into a preheated 400-degree oven for 20 minutes. Woo, damn it, you hot! Perfect. Hey Alexa, start a timer for 20 minutes.
20 minutes, starting now.
Hashtag not sponsored. Yay! Dropped my bottle of $2.89 wine. All right, we're very quickly moving along. While those guys are chilling in the oven, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the potatoes and we can get them soaking. So for this recipe, you need 1 pound of sweet potatoes. I don't have a scale because I avoid that shit like the plague, and so I'm just eyeballing it. But with these, you can absolutely peel them if you want to. I don't really mind the peel. I kind of like that chewiness that it gives, so I'm gonna leave mine on. And the thing about French fries is that you really wanna try to get them as uniform as possible. I mean, we're high here. They're not gonna be that great. They'll just cook so much better and really, really crisp up that way. If you are cooking these for Munchies, I really doubt that you're gonna notice if one is soggy and one's crispy. But still, we don't half-ass anything here. Once you have these guys cut, it is definitely a good idea to soak these bitches because it'll just remove the extra starches. I promise you, your potatoes will be crispier, they'll cook better, they'll brown up so much nicer. Yum. I love raw sweet potatoes. Oh. So I happen to have a big old thing of potatoes that have been soaking for probably like 6 hours. The nice thing about soaking them is that you can pre-cut them like way in advance, and because they're in water, they're not gonna get brown or smushy. So let's go ahead and drain those. All right, there we go. So another important step is to get all of the water off of these potatoes. You can fucking blow dry them if you want. I don't care, just as long as there's no water or moisture on them. So I'm just gonna dump these out and kind of pat them around. Yes, that is perfect all over the counter that my cat walks all over. Dry this guy out and put them back in. Just like that. And we are left with beautifully thick cut sweet potatoes. I probably should have cut those thinner, but they look great. I'm sure they'll be fine. For these, we actually want the oven to be at 425, 25 degrees higher than what it's at. So when those little bitches are done, we'll crank it up 25 degrees and plop these in. But not before they get a little bit of seasoning. So we are gonna take 2 tablespoons of olive oil right over there. Yeah, baby, drench that shit. We can give this a nice little swirl around the bowl, evenly coat that oil. And I really like these when they're covered in cornstarch. You don't have to use cornstarch. You could use like almond flour if you wanted. Just make sure it's really finely milled. It's not gonna taste the same, and they certainly won't have that really good crunch and bite that they have, but they will be very delicious. Let's go ahead and add our children of the cornstarch. This is 2 tablespoons. I'm just gonna plop it right in there. And the recipe that I'm following calls for 1/2 teaspoon each of garlic powder, smoked paprika, and fresh cracked pepper. However, I wanted a little bit more kick, so I also added 1/2 teaspoon of chili flakes. And then just for color, I also added 1/2 teaspoon of parsley. But you could totally mix this recipe up as much as you want. You could make it like an Indian tasting dish and add some curry. You could add bacon, you could add brown sugar to make these sweet. There's really so many different things that you could do, but that's what I decided to add today, and we're gonna add that and stir this up. Make sure everything gets really well coated. Okay, honestly, fuck this spoon. The hands are one of the best tools. That and the tongue. And the 1/2 teaspoon of salt really wasn't enough to actually season these well enough, but I don't want the salt to get in there and like suck any moisture out, so we'll go in and add more later. Oh yeah, those definitely need salt. And I'm pretty sure this is probably way more than a pound of potato, but that's okay. Rules are only there to be broken. Oh my gosh, I can smell the Brussels sprouts. I smell like Parmesan. Oh damn, that smells great. Now we are gonna take these little bitches and spread them out onto parchment paper. You don't have to use parchment paper if you don't want to. You can use a plain ass cookie sheet with a little oil squirted on it. No biggie, just as long as these are evenly distributed and aren't like on top of each other. Yeah, come on. Okay, yeah, I definitely have way too much here, but that's all right, more for me. And heaven forbid I dirty another cookie sheet. All right, those look pretty damn good to me. I'm gonna let these set for just a little bit while those finish cooking, and then I'm gonna take those out of the oven, put these in. I will see you all in just a second. Welcome back, everything is now cooked. It smells so fucking good in here. I wish you could smell it. There's like sweet and peppery going on with like a lot of garlic and Parmesan. Oh, damn. So I have everything laid out in front of me, so let's go ahead and maybe start with the Brussels sprout. They did crisp up really, really nicely. They actually taste more like weed than my actual weed does. Oh, wait, but then you get like this aftershock of beautiful like garlic and that saltiness. Oh, fuck yes. But the cheese adds this element to them that makes them seem like naughty or sinful, but they really aren't. And the crispiness of that breading just adds such a nice little crunchy pop. Honestly, I could probably eat these all fucking day and most likely go to bed eating them too. So good. Let's go ahead and try the fries. Oh my god. Ooh, damn, that has a little kick to it. Because I cut them a little bit bigger, they did end up taking like twice as long to cook. And because they took so long to cook, the outside like caramelized. It is still a little bit crunchy, but for the most part, it's almost like there's a glaze on them. I did end up sprinkling them with a little bit of pretzel salt and some fresh Parmesan cheese. So damn good. They probably could use a little bit of salt. Instead though, I made a dip. And this is just 1 cup of homemade Greek yogurt, which that'll be a different episode, and a packet of taco seasoning. Oh my god. That is so good with like the sweet and the spicy and the cheesiness. Oh, and then that spiciness is kind of toned down a little because of the creaminess of the dip. So good. I think that might be like my favorite late night high munchie ever. And then finally we have these guys right here. Oh, I've been so excited about these. I've had these in the freezer for about 24 hours now, and so I'm really curious to see how they taste and how frozen they are. Oh, that's like candy. There's a fruit fly. It's almost like this isn't a grape anymore. It's more like a random piece of something that soaked up that wine flavor. And I can still taste both kinds of wine, yet I also get that really, really strong sugary orange flavor. It's not a sensory overload, but it's one of those things that you just want to put in your mouth and go like, And for once, it's not a dick. One more. And they're extra, extra good because it created kind of a glaze on the outside from the alcohol not able to freeze. And when the wine just mixed with that sugar, it kind of melted the sugar and created something totally new. Oh, it's so good. So there you go. I hope you really enjoyed this first episode of Bake. This is something that I've always wanted to do, and I am so excited to film even more episodes. So let me know down in the comments below if there's anything that you'd like me to try, if there's any unique recipes, make sure you send them my way. Thank you. But like always, please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell down below so that you're notified anytime I upload a new video. Don't forget my newest collection of highlighters, including Black Ice, which does change from black to white, is available at thepoplex.com. Also, my latest album, Kiss of Fame, is available everywhere online that music is sold. Thank you so much to everyone who's supporting them. Comment down below, let me know what you thought of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at officialnady, and you can follow me online at thepoplex.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you again soon. Bye.